Good morning. It's Sunday, the 13th of May, 2018. Welcome along this morning to today's United Kingdom talk, boys and girls, which may be slightly shorter than usual. I've got lots to do today. We've got the brand new karaoke starting tonight, of course, boys and girls. If you're in the South East London area, nice early one for you, 6:30 till 9:30. At the Pyrotechnics at 39 Nunhead Green, London, SE 15 3QF. That's where we are tonight. Brand new karaoke down there. Think old pub, okay? Think old pub. Comfortable old leather settee. I do like those old leather settees, don't you? Although a little bit sticky. I think I had a leather seat once before I got onto all the vegetarianism and all that. I did have a leather settee once years ago. Oh, they're a nightmare in the summer. And absolute, because you just stick to the top, oh, it's horrible. Oh, it's horrible. It must be awful being a pig, you know. Getting stuck to things all the time. I had a little bit of technical difficulty this morning. Sorry, boys and girls. For some reason, it couldn't stream to the Facebook. Everything else was working. So if you're watching via Periscope or YouTube, you might have seen it come on and go off a couple of times before we started, and that all ran a bit wrong. And then you might have heard the music at the beginning suddenly went loud. That was something gone. Oh, it's all going wrong this morning. Not only that, look at the time. I'm early for a Sunday, aren't I? That's because I haven't been to church. Oh my God, a bolt of lightning is coming towards me at this moment. And the reason for that is I was very, very late last night. Because, of course, we had the Eurovision, which we're going to talk about in a second. And I think Elaine's going to call in. Not yet. Get a little while, Elaine. All right, darling? Let's do a bit of a story, and then I'll open the phone lines, okay? We'll open the phone lines this morning if you want to talk about Eurovision or indeed anything else. We're usually a little bit quieter on a Sunday. Not so many people up at this time on a Sunday. I expect some of you were partying last night, wherever you are in the world, because that whole Eurovision thing is massive. But because of the Eurovision, the cabaret act was booked for after the Eurovision. Okay, so usually I finish at 12 o'clock on a Saturday night. It's a very easy night for me, and I've got, I can't complain about having to stay a little bit longer. Not really, because sometimes I leave a bit earlier. It swings and roundabouts always. So the cabaret usually goes on at 10:30. That comes off about 11:30. I go home 12 o'clock, maybe a little bit before, and that's okay, because once the cabaret's finished, there's nothing else for me to do after that. Of course, the Eurovision went on till way after 11 o'clock, and the cabaret got there at about 11:30, put her on the stage at 11:45. So I didn't leave there till 1:10 in the morning last night. Now, I'm not complaining about that, actually, because as I say, they give me meals and things. That's fine. Offer, do you want a bit more? No, that's fine. That's okay. I'll stay. No problem at all. The only thing is, my body clock is kind of timed to finish at that time. So although I've always got an hour to go home, my body clock says, okay, 12 o'clock, you've finished. So very soon after 12 o'clock, I start going downhill and I get really tired. Not only that, we've got a bit of a restriction on sound in this particular venue. And after 12 o'clock, we are right in the middle. There's houses opposite, within 10 feet of the front door and windows, there are houses there. So you've got to watch the sound. Really, you need that. Sound always goes on in this particular venue. At 12 o'clock, we turn it right down. So we got a show going on now. And it's not finished till 1:10 in the morning. It worries the life out of me, the sound. Because you don't want people complaining about your sound. The council come down. All right, you no more sound. And that's it. Everyone's out of a job. And the pub closes. So you've got to be very careful of the sound. So it was very, very late. I eventually got out about 1:15, 1:20, I think I left. I got back here about 2:30, had something to eat. By the time I went to bed, it was 3:30, 4:45. And so I haven't got up this morning, unfortunately, for church. I could go to the 11 o'clock one, but then it's 11. I won't make that either. So unfortunately, I didn't go this morning. So that's why I'm here a little bit earlier. All right, so on to, let's just say hello to some of your messages there. Good morning, Adam the Plumber. Morning, Adam. Mark Jones. I haven't seen you for a while. Good morning, Mark. Elaine's there. Is going to call in very shortly. Good morning, Elaine. Darmu. Good morning, sir. On the Learn English website. Alan Russell was there making me laugh the other night. Good morning, Alan. Gary Davidson. Hello to you. Andy Baker. Good morning. Over on YouTube. Joanna's there. Good morning, lovely Joanna. Andrew Parker. Good morning to Andrew Parker. And who say the guy who stormed the stage is lucky. Anyone storming a stage in a backpack could very easily be shot dead through fear of terrorism. Oh, I absolutely agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. But we'll come to that in a second. And then we'll open the phone lines. So, Eurovision last night. I got to the pub. And we couldn't get the... Here are two. I don't know where the other two have gone, actually. Here are two of my Eurovision betting slips. Haven't won any money there. Nope, no one's won any money. I don't know anyone that's won any money, including, I think, my dear friend Simon Keane, who put 100 quid on France to win. He's lost as well. I don't know anyone that's won any money. I really don't. But never mind, that's the way it is. You know, you don't bet thinking that you're going to win loads of money. You bet thinking that it doesn't matter if you lose that £1, £10, £100, whatever it is. Simon would think, oh gosh, never mind, there's always next time. That's as Simon. He wouldn't be crying. Simon would just be laughing. Simon Keane would just be laughing, I'm sure. Good morning, Mark. Mark Cording's there. So, Eurovision, I got to the pub last night. It wasn't on the screens. They couldn't get the sound working. And I got there with my laptop and I announced on the microphone, look, does anyone want this on? I think I can get it to come through the laptop. And oddly enough, there was hardly anyone in the pub last night. I think there was about 8 people in there when I got there. They were all sitting at home watching the telly, you see. It's quite a big thing, that Eurovision. It really is. So I got there and I announced, does anyone want to watch it? Nothing. No one was bothered in the slightest. So I just started putting some music on, and we had the picture on of it all going on and that. And then a few people came in and said, oh, can we have it on? So eventually we got it working. So we got the Eurovision on the screen, which worked to a point. And I saw the beginning of it just before I left for home. And I thought, what a lacklustre show it was. I mean, I said this about the 2 semi-finals. The beginning of the show was very inconsequential, if you see what I mean. You know, there was no, like, big opening. And on the final, I thought, well, maybe they've held something back for that. No, not really. It started off, they run the fanfare as usual. A few pictures of Portugal, which is normal happening. And then it went into the auditorium. It faded to the stage as just some bloke playing a guitar and singing unexciting songs. And then the 4 girls walked on with no fanfare or anything like that, just a bit of an announcement. And that was it. The 4 girls were very good. The hostesses were very good. 4 of them, I don't know why. Why were there 4? All very pretty. All very pretty. They all knew what they were doing. No one looked like they were struggling. It was all right, you know. But there was something missing. There was no sparkle last night. There was no spark. There wasn't really a spark on there last night. That's how I felt from a viewer's point of view. Of course, if you were in the auditorium yourselves, you would have soaked up all that excitement, wouldn't you? I think it would be a very different thing if you're actually in there. But there we are. It's one of those things. It was a bit. I mean, and then they came on with all the flags. And Graham Norton, because I've seen this bit, Graham Norton says, we're now going to have the flag parade, which is a new thing. I think that was last year as well. It's a new thing. And the point of the flag thing is just to make the song contest a little bit longer, just in case you all think it flashes by too quickly. He was very funny. Graham Norton was hilarious on the comments last night. And once again, they did a little thing to Terry Wogan, raise your glasses and remember the great Terry Wogan, which was nice. So they're all parading on these flags. And they've got 2 DJs on the stage doing all this business and twiddling buttons. And I thought, why are they there? I don't get it. What's all that about? Which were probably they weren't doing anything at all. They were just miming and pushing buttons like that. When I was big time DJ a few years ago, I got to tell you, I didn't. You play one record and then the other, right? Some of these DJs, you see, they get the headphone on one ear and like that, and they're doing all this. They're not doing anything. They're not doing anything. I'm telling you now. Twiddle, 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 twiddle. What are you doing? Just play the blooming record. You know, you got one song on, then you just fade that one, and then you go into the other one. These DJs were standing up, twiddle, 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 twiddle. They're not doing it. I bet they weren't doing anything at all. Another one was pushing a button like that. Strange, and all these flags were coming on, which all looked very pretty, but a little bit pointless, I thought. Anyway, that's how that was. So the show was okay. We came on. I have to say, I thought our song, even before the performance, was a very strong song. I thought that was an excellent song we put in this year. And I'm not just saying that because we were UK. We have had some ghastly songs in the past. Do you remember that rapper? The white rapper. I mean, if you're going to have a rapper, for Christ's sake, put a black one on there. Do it properly. Not some white copycat rapper. Put someone black on there, and we might actually believe that they can rap. No, they had this white rapper years ago. I can't even remember his name. It was awful. Awful. And then we've had some terrible songs. Last night was not a terrible song. It was a fantastic song. That was a winning song we put in last night with SuRie. It absolutely was. Did we get any votes? No. And I told you not to bet on us, didn't I? Not because it wasn't a good song, not because she wasn't fabulous, because she was wonderful. She comes across as a nice person, a nice, caring, lovely person who can damn well sing well. She had the X Factor. She absolutely had the X Factor. And she came on the stage and she started singing a song, and some bonzo come up there, jumped on the stage and grabbed the microphone off her. I mean, with a rucksack on. With a rucksack on. I mean, how frightened must she have been then? There could have been a bomb in there. He could have had knives in there. And when they interviewed people afterwards, they were saying that trying to get into the venue, the security is really tight. So how on earth did he get in there? It turns out that this bloke has been on all sorts of award shows and television shows and is known for jumping on the stage. Didn't they know that he was in there? You must have some sort of passport or photograph or something like that, you know, proving who you are. And presumably he will have a little bit of a record, seeing as he's done this before. He jumped onto the stage and grabbed the mic off her. Thank God he only grabbed the mic out off her and didn't stab her in the face or something like that. She must have been absolutely terrified when that happened. And I felt so sorry for her. I felt so sorry for her just standing there because her performance was flawless. I gotta say, the stage itself was very bare, which is okay. They didn't have all these video screens behind them. It's just a bare stage. So of course you had to have props to fill it on. And all the various different acts, they all bought their own stuff, and it looked all nice. We just had these lights, and it wasn't. We had the worst stage setup of all the songs. There was just nothing on the stage. Just these diamond light things. And I thought that was disappointing for her. I really did. Perhaps some, pretty boy backing singers. That would have done it for me. Because there's a lot of gay people watching that programme, What we need is pretty boy gay backing dancers in small white sparkly shorts. I mean, I could do it myself. I'm very, very happy to turn up there and do a little bit of backing dancing. I don't need to be near the front. I don't need to be near, front of scene. I'm quite happy to stand behind SuRie and do da 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 da. We could have that bloke doing it. Who's that bloke who does the choreography on X Factor? That one on there. Who's obviously very talented at being able to do dancing or something like that. Or someone from one of those dance schools. Be quite good, wouldn't it? But there she was, and so he grabbed the microphone, shouted something in them. I don't know what he was shouting in that microphone. What an idiot. What an idiot. I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. I just hope someone dragged him outside and kicked the hell out of him afterwards. How dare you? How dare you jump onto the stage and take the microphone off any singer from any country? How rude are you? Disgusting, despicable man. You really are. You deserve a good kicking. That's what you deserve. Whatever country or whatever singer it is, you know, they've spent months and months preparing for that moment. How dare you take that microphone off her? Anyway, I hope something really horrible happens to him. I really do. That is not the way to deal with your blooming ideologies or whatever it is you're believing in or trying to put across or whatever you're trying to say. You don't do it like that. Disgusting. Anyway, so she recovered very, very quickly from it. Very quickly, someone, I think, handed her another microphone and she carried on. And she carried on. And if you watched her, I'm sorry, I'm all hit up about this, because if you watch her, watch it back on the YouTube or the BBC television, what's that thing called? The BBC iPlayer. Watch her back and see her when she's given the mic back. She's there. And she means business. She means business. And then it cut to a picture of the audience, and everyone just stood up and congratulated her for carrying on. She was given the option to sing again at the end, but she didn't need to. She didn't need to. She'd done the performance of a lifetime. She was fantastic, absolutely fantastic, and good on you. Good on you, SuRie. Absolutely. As I said, Andrew just sent a message in who says the guy who stormed the stage is lucky. He could very easily have been shot dead through fear of terrorism. Absolutely. I'm very, very surprised he wasn't shot dead. Very surprised. If it had been America, he probably would have been shot dead. There would have been people, what are they called? You know, gun people who... I don't know what they're called now. They've always got a gun trained on a certain thing. Probably when President Trump, you know, there's gunmen following him around everywhere. Not to shoot him, but to anyone around him. You're bang, dead. So you're very lucky to still be alive, sunshine. You really are. Did that translate into votes, that wonderful performance? No. No, we came way down the list again. To the point of you have to say, and I've heard it time and time again, is there any point in the UK entering anymore? Because they just don't vote for us. They just don't vote for us. For ages, we were with 0 points again. The song was good. It was good. But there you are. But it wasn't the only one who got very little points. Australia, nowhere near the top. Finland, fantastic song, nowhere near the top. The winner was Israel. I have to say, for a while, it looked like it was going to be Austria. Now, Austria put the contest on a few years ago, and they did a damn good... Best contest I've ever seen was the one from Austria, followed by one from Sweden. They were fantastic. The massive orchestra on the stage for a short period of time. The way the whole thing was thrown together, it was fantastic. And they had this lad on there singing last night, and the song was all right. It was a good time. And he was at the top for a while, and it kept changing positions at the top between him... Israel, Sweden, Cyprus, I think they finished 4th or 5th. There was young Tony Power. Mr. Eurovision was convinced that Cyprus was going to ring, weren't you? I told you. Never put up there something like that. This is absolutely the song. Because I'm afraid we've caught you out, Tony. We've caught you out there, my love. All right. So I thought Austria was in a chance. And I was like, oh, come on, Austria, because I quite like the Austrian song. No, didn't win it. Who won? Israel. Now, first of all, congratulations to Israel for winning. Well done for winning. But well done for winning with an absolute crap song. I can't believe it. But that's, you know, they're not the only ones. Portugal last year won with that dreary old song. It was ghastly. And this year, I think they came right down the bottom with a song which was almost identical to the one they won with last year. But this time, it didn't pick up the votes, did it? No. Awful. dreary, awful songs. The Israeli song won. Congratulations, Israel. I'm tempted to come to Israel next year and watch what I'm sure you'll put on a fantastic song, because Israel has had some damn good songs in the past. Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Abanabe, Light a Candle, which didn't win, Light a Candle. But the one they put in last night, that one, awful. What makes people vote for these songs? Just horrendous song. But there you go. Congratulations, you won. Therefore, congratulations are yours. You can call in now if you want, Brew Boys and Girls. I think Elaine's going to call in. 0208 144 3477 is our local London number. 020 144 3477 is our local London number. If you've got Skype, you can Skype in as well. My Skype in is, all one word, United Kingdom Talk. United Kingdom Talk on the Skype in. So there we are. That's the Eurovision last night. Not the best show I've seen. Certainly not the best Eurovision I've ever seen. But there you go. It was on. It came off. I'm sure millions of people watched it. There were certain songs in there that came nowhere, and they were damn good songs. And I don't know why that is. But there we are. One of those things. Okay, we've got a phone call coming in. Good morning. Who's that?
Good morning, Christopher. It's Ansky calling from Hemel Hempstead, Latvia.
Good morning, Ansky. How wonderful. Have you called in before, Ansky? I cannot remember.
I called in when I was telling you about Latvia and the statue and all that in days gone by.
Yes. Well, good morning to you. It's nice to hear your little voice again, sir.
Thank you. So I've got to take a couple of points up with you about last night's Eurovision. Firstly, I agree with you that that was disgusting what happened with the guy on the stage. That's taking her moment away. But you know what annoyed me not more than that, but as much as that, and this is where I disagree with your point when she was given the mic back, she was miming, Chris, as were all 26 acts. So if you look at the footage of the incident, when the microphone is taken from her and her lips are no longer moving, the song continues.
Right. I will have a look at that. Now, I did wonder that on one of the semi-finals, I noticed that someone was singing on one of the semi-finals. I think it was the very first one. And I noticed there that the lips were not moving at the same time as the sound. So I think you're probably right.
Yeah, so I think next year it should be called the Eurovision Song Mime
Contest.
Where you get extra points for getting your mouth in time with the backing track.
I think possibly. And I would be a good contender. Although I think, do you have to write a new song? Because I'd quite like to do Tie a Yellow Ribbon Round the Old Oak Tree.
Well, all the youngsters love Eurovision, and I think it's only people in our age bracket that would remember. So how about we pass it off? You can say it was written by this guy called Ansky.
Yes.
Yeah. And we'll pretend it was an original. And just hope no one Googles and obviously clicks on the original one, which was 1970 something by I can't remember who. Wasn't Peters and Lee, was it? That was Welcome Home.
Welcome Home. Well, I love that song. What's the other Peters and Lee one? We have when I do the karaoke, Maureen, she's wonderful, Maureen. She does another Peters and Lee one. Da 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 da. Don't stay away too long. That's it. That's the other Peters and Lee one, isn't it?
Do you hear what happened in the late 70s when they split up Peters and Lee? She walked into a job straight away, and he walked straight into a lamppost.
Oh, that's so cruel! I love it.
That is cruel. Only you and I know he was blind, though, so everyone else doesn't really get that.
There are young people watching this programme at this very moment in various countries who have no idea who Peters and Lee are. About. Oh yeah! Did they start on Opportunity Knocks? Is that where they started, Peters and Lee?
I don't know. That's a good one. I don't think they did. I don't remember. But Opportunity Knocks. That's another blast from the past.
Yeah. He was a dodgy character, weren't he, Hughie Green? He was a bit of a media mogul.
Well, don't you remember, years after he died, it turned out that he was Paula Yates's dad.
That's right. Yeah, yeah, I remember now. I do remember that. Yeah.
But going back to Eurovision Song Contest, I quite like the Israel song. I agree with you. The Portugal and the person just singing there with no backing is just so boring. The mere fact that she looked mad as a hatter, the song was mad as a hatter. She was clutching as a chicken. But as you say, Israel have got a good record in the competition. But what also annoyed me is really that hour of 43 voting countries had very little relevance when there was such massive, we're now going to award 372 points.
Yes.
So you had a country like Ukraine that at the end of all the voting was stone last, 11 points. But they finished like 5th or 6th from the top.
I saw that one.
Up in the first few.
I saw that one. It jumped from the bottom of one side to halfway up the other side. And
I tell you who also it was. Italy. Italy, I think, finished 4th overall in that silly voting thing.
Yeah.
But they were doing terrible to start with.
Dreadful.
So, it's a very dubious competition. I quite liked. There didn't seem to be that much politics last night. I'm sure there was the stupid 12 points from Moldova to Georgia, but it didn't seem to be as much as previous years.
Did we get anything from Ireland last year? See, I thought the Irish
No, that was one of the things.
We didn't.
The other way around, I think the UK gave 8 or 10 points, but the other way around, it wasn't reciprocal.
Didn't come our way. Oh dear! I think we might have to cancel St Patrick's Day next year as punishment.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a block on drinking Guinness for a year.
Have a little word with Teresa.
Yeah, I will do. And go on, I'll let you press on with some more callers.
All right. Just before you go, is anyone looking after my statues in Latvia? Statues of me in Latvia?
Well, the answer is yes. Unfortunately, in the winter season in Latvia, I'm in England now. They tell me that the birds have done their business all over your face hair. Well, not the hair you've got, obviously, and your shoulders of the statue. So what's happened is there's been over the last month a total clean-up process from all the birds' poo.
Is that like?
And I think you're looking ship shape. What I'll do, if possible, can I perhaps I'll tweet you or send you direct message the statue.
Please, if you could, I'd appreciate that. I would appreciate that.
Is it like all the birds' poo?
Is it like
get upset?
I'm thinking perhaps that possibly, to save money, because I don't want to cost the Latvian government any money. Can I suggest?
They're happy.
Because
they've listened to your show and they regularly listen, and every taxpayer, like when they contribute to the health system, they all contribute to the public, not the government, but because they take it out of the Latvian. The wages, and it goes to the upkeep of your statue and shrine area.
Well,
there's a little shrine.
I was going to suggest, the criminal world in Latvia, which I gather also are fans as well. Can I suggest, as like their community service, to save the taxpayers of Latvia for cleaning up my things, you could get the people doing Latvian community service to possibly go up on ladders and just give my bits and pieces a little wipe down from the bird pew that's landed on my eyes.
I agree. And you've also given me a great idea. If you do decide to enter the Eurovision Song Contest in Israel next year, and the UK won't allow you to do your song, whether it be Tie a Yellow Ribbon, you could, and I'll speak to President Vala, you could potentially sing for Latvia.
Oh, wow. That would just be such an honour.
And they will have no idea about Tie a Yellow Ribbon.
That would be such an honour. Thank you very much. Just push my name forward. Push the name forward.
As we say in Latvia.
Aye?
Goodbye.
Thank you, Hemel Hempstead.
Don't I, Fizz?
There's Ant calling in from Hemel He's on another planet altogether, that one, I'm telling you now. Paul says £1 on France. What a lunatic. No, not £1 on France. You're talking about Simon Keane. Not £1. Not £1 on France. £100 on France. Simon put on, mate. That was his big bet. But, swings and roundabouts. It's one of those things. That's what Simon does, and he enjoys doing it. So there we are. Good morning to... Andrew says Israel won. Corbyn must be angry. And Diane Abbott as well. She would be fuming, dear. Poor old Diane. Her little glasses will all be steaming up, won't they? Let's go to Vectis on the Isle of Wight. Good morning, Vectis. How are you today?
I'm fine. Long time no speak.
Nice to speak to you, sir. Very nice to speak to you.
Yes, I thought I'd phone up because I have to take issue with that lovely young gentleman who just phoned up about the Eurovision Song Contest.
Yes, sir.
And the incident regarding the stage invasion.
Can I leave you? Right, I'll be
he's going
listening. No, stay there. I'll be listening. I've just got to pop into... I'm desperate for a wee.
Oh, right. I normally
Can
have
I
that
leave
effect on
you?
people, don't worry.
Leave you to make your comment, and I'll be back in a minute. So carry on, because I know I can trust you not to swear, you see.
Oh, right, okay.
One moment. Carry on.
I was watching the Eurovision Song Contest last night. It's one of those, it's sort of like car crash TV, really. It's so bad, it's good. But I thought when that nasty man invaded the stage, and I don't know why they have to do that, because that could well be, I've forgotten her name now, but the person who was singing her big chants, on international telly, I thought that when he grabbed the microphone off, I thought the same thing. I thought, that's a bit embarrassing. Her lips aren't moving and she's all looking frightened. As indeed, she must have been petrified, the poor girl. And the song's still going. But my daughter, who she was out having dinner with her old headmistress, believe it or not, last night.
All right, yeah.
When she come back and she watched it back on her phone, as indeed you can now because it's plastered all over Facebook and what have you, she informed me actually that she thinks that it wasn't you could hear the song carrying on, but she said it was backing singers that were singing it because it was being sung in a slightly different key. And if you do listen to it back, you do hear the music carrying on, and she obviously isn't singing, but you hear the song get a lot louder when she joins back in again, and she's singing in a slightly different key. And if you look, all the people who sing songs, unless they go on there with a guitar or a violin or something they're playing themselves, you never see the orchestra, or you didn't last night, did you? One would imagine...
No, they're not there. They're not.
One would imagine there's a live orchestra there somewhere.
No.
But they're obviously not in shot.
No, they're not. No, the live orchestra were done away, and it's the biggest travesty.
Oh, there's not a live orchestra at all then?
No, the biggest travesty I've always thought with the Eurovision is that years ago, and this happened a long time ago now, years ago, they did away with the live orchestra. And the reason I gather is if you see musicians on a stage, you've got to pay them more than if they record all the backing tracks, and that's the reason for that. And they never brought it back. And I've always said, when they got rid of that orchestra from the stage, and you'll just end up with this massive stage and nothing on there other than perhaps one singer.
Strange,
and I think it's a massive shame, and I just wish they'd bring back the orchestra onto the stage.
Yeah, but in defence of that lady, can you remember her name? I'm not of names. What was our singer's name? Can you remember?
SuRie.
That's right, something like that.
Yeah, it's a combination of her first and second name. So her first name is Susan, and her second name is Marie. So she joined the two together, and that's how that worked.
It was either the backing singers, or it could well have been her singers as well. But then a lot of people do that. You must have seen that in the pub game, Christmas people sing. And there's a guy who sings down the Mill Bay in Ventnor, and he'll sing a song, and for certain songs, he'll be singing, and he'll have another harmony that he's already pre-recorded, because you see he's singing along, and then all of a sudden he's got a little box, a little special effects pedal, and he'll hit the button, and he'll be singing a different part as well. So I've
worked with many people, some famous, some not so famous, and some people do mime on the stage, but you never let let that known. I could sit here and reel off a list of names of people who mime over tracks, but I wouldn't do that because I'm a gentleman. And if
no, I'm not saying you personally yourself would have done. Of course, everything that comes out of your lips is live. That's happening at this very moment.
Live.
But people do.
No, not me. No, you didn't hear that, did you? You didn't hear what I said there. Because you're talking over the top of me. Shut up for 5 minutes. Talking over the top of me all the time. What I said, if you'd have listened the first time, is that I've worked with lots of people, some famous, some not so famous, and some of them do indeed. You're quite right. Mime over a track, and they're not actually singing. They're just moving their mouths. But I would never tell you who those people are because I am gentleman. And even if the Sun were to offer me £10,000, I wouldn't tell you who it was. Now, where's he gone? Oh, he's dropped out now. It's gone altogether. Vectis, where have you gone? Hang on. Are you on there? Vectis?
I'm here.
Oh, got you.
Hello?
Got you. Did you hear that then?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I was saying there used to be a guy who used to be an entertainer in the hotel my partner used to work in.
Right.
And he used to be on the black and white minstrel show. Can you imagine that being on nowadays?
Oh,
white
no.
people,
Absolutely wouldn't be allowed on. Wouldn't be allowed on.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about you. As a child, I didn't see that as taking the mick out of black people. I just saw it as an entertainment show. However, if you talk to young people now, they see that as a massive racist programme. So you're quite right, wouldn't be allowed on the telly now. We only ever saw it as an entertainment show of people singing as children.
Yeah,
did you?
That's right.
Yeah.
The only reason why I mentioned it was this guy who used to work in the hotel. He sung this one particular song one night where there was only 2 people in the whole of this dance floor, and I think they'd only bought a can of Coke all night. And he started singing this song, and he had all his hands, and he had 2 or 3 keyboards, and he was singing. And all of a sudden, he took all his hands off the keyboard and stopped singing and was drinking a pint. And all this thing was still carrying on, and 2 people never noticed.
No, if you're going to do it, you've got to do it properly. Most of the people who have mimed, if I've had them, not karaoke singers, proper singers, they've mimed on the stage with backing tracks, are very good at it, and it's difficult to tell. It would only be me that knows whether or not they mime. Now, going back to what you said about SuRie miming last night or not, we're not sure. I haven't really watched that part of it, so I'll watch it and I'll give comment tomorrow or the day after or something like that. I'll have a good look at that tomorrow, possibly this afternoon when I'm having my lunch, and I'll see what's what tomorrow, really, whether I think she was miming or not. I don't think she was.
And another thing I just want to say quickly before I go, you can, you know me, I'm not controversial, but you can tell me to shut up and I'm being bigoted if you want. I'm sure you will. But this thing was the person who won last night, right?
Yes.
She's part, evidently, of this Me Too campaign, which
What's
is...
that?
I should have researched it a bit more, but from what I've seen on Facebook, it's about to take sexism out of show business, So I guess what they're trying to say and what she's trying to represent is she's going on there. There's no point in beating about the bush. As a rather overweight young lady singing a rather silly song, and it strikes me that the public vote wasn't going her way. What swung it for her was the actual judges at Eurovision. Now this is fine. This is brilliant because, blimey, people are seeing Facebook pictures of me, and I'm not shy of putting pictures on Facebook, as you know. I'm very overweight myself, trying to do something about it. But so I'm well, I might as well say what I'm going to say. The trouble is nowadays you're so worried about being politically correct, aren't you? But it just strikes me that she's won that, and that's a great role model for people who suffer from their weight and perhaps have got a few issues and what have you. But don't you think this positive, what's the word?
Positive discrimination.
Don't you think it's almost too much, and that's going to hurt her more than praising her up? Because I mean, come the day where there's a big overweight family on a TV advert for a mainstream car, and the kids are arguing in the back and using bad language and what have you. Until that happens, you know what I mean? In a way, that would be a more realistic car advert, but it's not, is it? If you have a car advert, it's a lovely young 30-something woman who's got a slender figure. The guy's there, he's there with a bit of facial hair, and they're all and the kids are sat on. You know what I mean? I think attitudes aren't going to change unless people change them. But don't you think it's slightly unreal, or am I making too much of it?
They're all a little bit too perfect selling the cars.
Yeah, but then I think that the reason why this woman won yesterday at Eurovision was the fact that the organisation and what she's sort of like fighting for is to be part of like more realistic. But I don't even think that works. I'm not putting the case very well. But do you know what I mean?
I don't know what they voted for, but I certainly don't think it was the song. I thought the song was horrendous. I thought the song was horrendous, and I thought last year's song was horrendous as well. I'd like to see a time where someone can go on the stage and be whoever they want, without having to have some sort of statement to make. Whether it's a white gay bloke, a black lady, or an overweight person, a person in a wheelchair, someone with something else wrong with them. I'd like to see a time when people can come on the stage and this isn't talked about. It's just a normal thing. I think certainly in this country, I think we are getting there. We're getting there slowly.
I think the word I was struggling for was like positive discrimination.
Positive discrimination.
I'm not sure whether it works.
No,
I'm not sure if you're sort of.
Well, I don't like that either. I've seen adverts for jobs. The BBC was one, and it says looking for this, and this. And white male wasn't on there at all. It wasn't on there. And I thought, no, you shouldn't have put a list of people. You should just be advertising the job and taking the best person for that job, regardless of whether they're boy, girl, or whatever. Whatever. But no, that's positive, and I don't go along with that. No, I don't go.
I think the thinking behind it's right. But I just don't think in the real world it helps. I don't think it. I think if you artificially give a job to someone who's, I don't know, transsexual and black, just because it ticks all the right boxes, but they might be totally crap at the job. It doesn't work, does it?
No.
But anyway,
that's
as controversial as I'm going to get today. I've got to prepare my show for my listeners of millions. Well, one or two. Anyway.
Millions of people standing by.
That's right. Look after yourself, Chris.
Thanks very much, Vectis, for calling in. Cheerio now.
Bye.
Bye-bye now. There we are, Vectis calling from the Isle of Wight. Call in if you want to, boys and girls. 0208 144 3477. I can only ever take one call at a time. I do see a couple of other calls trying to come in there. We can only do one call at a time, my darlings, all right? So that's how it is. Let's just go back to some of your messages there. Let's have a look here. There's so many messages there to get through, really. I can't possibly get through all of them, I'm afraid. 0208 144 3477. Paul, thank you. The rapper was Daz Sampson. I remember him. Yeah, it was dreadful, that song, Daz Sampson. Not necessarily that he performed it badly, which he didn't. It's just one of those things. Okay, let's go to London, I think. Good morning. Who's on the line, please?
Oh, hello.
Hello there.
Hi, Zoe.
Hello, Zoe. How are you, darling?
I'm okay.
And
How are you doing?
Whereabouts are you, Zoe?
I'm in London.
Welcome to the show. Whereabouts of London are you? I'm from London. Hello?
Oh, hang on. I'm getting feedback. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, you need to turn off the little
I got it.
computer.
Hey, it's me, Zoe. How are you doing?
Zoe, from whereabouts?
Southeast.
Southeast London. Good morning, Zoe. How can we help you too? You talking about the Eurovision, darling?
Gorgeousness.
Eh?
I have been missing you forever.
Why have you been missing me forever?
No, missing you forever.
Oh, well, we can only do one thing at a time, darling.
Have you forgotten who I am?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, I will just put it in a nutshell. Me out the back, covered in baby oil, in the sun, and a hearse turns up. Do you remember that?
No.
Remember, I'm the one that wants to go outside and sunbathe, and a hearse would turn up because I live next to a funeral director.
Where is this? Sydenham?
Okay, I'll help you again. I was the one that told you about Merkel's brother.
Merkel
Meghan-
who?
Okay. Oh, come on. Okay, should I just quickly send you a message?
No,
so
just tell me. Why? Tell us what you're calling in for today, my darling.
To say hello.
Yes.
Look, I'll just send a quick couple of kisses.
Is it the
There you go.
Eurovision you want to talk about, darling? We're talking about Eurovision at the moment.
Oh, screw Eurovision. That was all upside down. There was
Yes.
a lot of miming going on.
Yes.
A lot of miming.
Okay.
What a disgrace.
All right, Zoe, you have a lovely day and thanks for calling in, my darling. Anyone else want to call in? 0208 144 3477. Don't be shy, boys and girls. Right, let's see if I can get through to some of your messages there. Let's have a look there, right at the top there. Good morning to Tanya, who says, it's about the when men... we're going to have to go there. Tanya, me too. It's about the way men sexually mistreat women. Nothing to do with her weight. I think most women have been treated like that from men in your lifetime. Yeah, me too, Tanya. Me too, treated badly over the years. Hello, Sarah. Good morning to Sarah Lou Lace. Matusi says, hello to Matusi. Let's have a look there. What do you think about last night's terror attacks? Of course, we had terror attacks last night in Paris once again, didn't we? Someone was knifed. I haven't seen the whole of the news yet, though. I haven't really seen the whole of the news, okay? Good morning to Phoebe. Childers Jason, welcome to you. Ray Reynolds is there this morning. Peters and Lee, thank you, Ray. Used to sing in the East End pubs in 1971. They sang in the Queen's Arms, Hackney Road, and I was one of the DJs who replaced them when live music was cancelled. It all became too much, didn't it? Mike Conti, Brotherhood of Man, save your kisses for me, save all your kisses for me. Poor Zoe's been up all night. Oh, I have trouble sleeping sometimes, Zoe. Isn't it terrible? Terrible trying to... I hate waking up halfway through the night. Good morning, Alan Campbell. Welcome to Alan Campbell, and non-Irish Mary from Ireland is there as well. Good morning to non-Irish Mary. All righty. Paul says that she won last night as she has 15 million YouTube subscribers, fans already. Surely that's wrong. Well, you know... I mean, if I could only ever dream of having 15 million YouTube subscribers. Who knows, it might happen sometimes. A very good morning. We've got Harold Bishop from Neighbours there. Hello, Paul. Paul Dale is in the house this morning. Good morning, Paul. Nice to see you as well there as well. Okay. Morning, you lovely man, Paul. Good. News on my water leak. Do you remember I had a water leak a while ago? And I got in contact with the water board and they said there is actually a payment they can make. If you tell them you've had a water leak, they will look at your bill and possibly make... What was that noise? Birds are flying around outside. They can make you a payment. Apparently there's a payment they can make, anything up to like 300 quid. If they look at your bill and one is really high against the other because you've had a leak. Apparently my water leak hasn't made that much difference to the water bill, which is strange, isn't it? I had 2 men round about 3 or 4 weeks ago now, and I noticed there had been water bubbling up through the front garden, and 2 men came along. They dug a great big hole. And that pipe is really far down, you know. Now, all that time, you know, when you're possibly out the front and you think there might be a cable or something there, and you dig in carefully with your spade. No need to do that. This thing is like down, I would say, 3 or 4 spade levels. It really is. So you've got no chance at all of damaging that pipe, I have to tell you. But they came and done it, and they found the leak, and it was pouring out the water, absolutely pouring out of this little hole in the pipe. And they cut a bit out and put another bit in, and 2 twisty bits on either end and filled the hole back. No more leak anymore. So that's good news, isn't it? It hasn't really affected my thing at all there. 0208 144 3477. Some news stories now. What were we saying? Let's have a look at the LBC. Well, I was going to mention LBC for some reason. I can't remember why I was going to mention LBC now. Never mind. I got some news stories as well for you this morning. Now, what about this one? In the Daily Mirror this morning. Now, I'm a swimmer. I like going swimming. I'm not a professional swimmer. You know, I just go to try and keep a little bit fit. I always think once you're going on over the sort of the age of about 40, you've got to do something to keep yourself a little bit fit. Not necessarily the fittest person in the world, but just a little bit fit. So, trying to avoid the heart attacks and the cancer, aren't we? And the diabetes. 3 big things there. Well, look at this in the Daily Mirror this morning. A leisure centre has been forced to close after the swimming pool mysteriously disappeared. Where's the swimming pool gone, lads? Someone's nicked the swimming pool. Staff at Parish Wharf in Portishead near Bristol arrived to work on Saturday morning to find an empty tiled hole where a swimming pool should have been. It's gone. Roughly 500,000 litres drained away overnight. Workers were baffled by the disappearance before engineers found a fault with the waste valve. So they found it in the end where the water had all gone. I thought, I wonder how much it is to have a swimming pool installed. To be honest, I mean, my garden's a reasonable size. It's not big enough to have a pool. It does make me laugh. These people who have got little places in Spain or Italy or something like that. Oh, I've got a lovely... Oh, we got a pool there as well. And you go around and look at it. And, you're just about to get 2 people to sit in there. That's not a pool. A pool is where you can go on and do at least 10 of these before you get to the other end and turn around the other way. I'd love my own swimming pool. Oh, wouldn't that be... That's real luxury, isn't it? To have your own swimming pool. One of the things you can have is an everlasting swimming pool. Now, this is a small pool which can get in and sort of lay flat and a little bit longer. Okay? And what they've got is like a pump at one end, and you turn it on and it chucks water at you and you swim against that. So actually you're not moving. You're just doing that in the pool. So you can have something like that. Or, even better, have a proper swimming pool. Now, it wouldn't have to be very wide, would it? Because I'm on my own. I could do with like one that's sort of just so wide like that. But you want a long one. You want it fairly long. How wonderful would it be to have your own swimming pool? Has anyone got one? Any of you got a swimming pool? Not. I don't mean one of these like if you've got a little villa in Spain or something like that where you just about manage to get in there and there's no room to do anything. You and the missus or something like that, and you're in there like squashed up against each other because the pool's so small. That's not a pool, dear. That's a pond. You've got a pond. You've got a pond in your garden, not a pool, a pond. You want a proper swimming pool. And I was talking to my the boss up at the leisure centre that I go to up at the Hilton Hotel. That's where I use the swimming pool. It's not dear. Works out to about less than £10 a week I pay. It's not bad, is it? And I go swimming 5 times a week. £10 a week. And that's not the council one. That's the one up the road. Council one gets too busy. And he says you don't want your own swimming pool. He said the maintenance is a nightmare. You've always sort of doing things to it and adding chemicals. I'd be frightened to put too much chemical in. Put the chlorine in and we're dying of chlorine gas while we're trying to do our lengths. Real luxury having a swimming pool. The Daily Mirror says disappointed swimmers were turned away today after being told the pool would take days to refill. Water has to be heated, treated and tested before it can be open to the public. Now, let me let you into a little secret here. Sometimes I go up to the pool and it's closed. Okay, the same has happened to it tends not to happen at public pools. I don't know why that is, but certainly in private swimming pools, like hotels and things like that, they close the pool. There's only one reason, really, that they close the pool. Not because it's too cold. I've got in pools before and they're blooming freezing your knackers off, don't they? Oh, I don't like a cold pool. Oh, Joanna's got a pool. Have you got a pool or a pond, Joanna? If I got in your pool, Joanna, could I go 10 of those before I can turn around? Hot tubs are better. No, hot tubs are disgusting, Andrew. Oh, no. Great big people get in there and they just sit there and sweat. And all that sweat's going into the water and you're sitting next to them and they're weeing. Oh, no. Hot tubs are not good. My sister's got one. She said, do you want to get in the hot tub? No, thank you. A bubbling mess of bacteria, hot tubs. No, thanks. No hot tubs. No hot tubs. Anyway, back to the pool. When that pool is closed, usually it's because someone has had an accident in there. You know, either been sick or worse down the other end. So they close it off, fish it out, and then they have to leave it for a certain amount of time for chemicals and that to do their jobs and kill any bacteria or anything in there. Don't think they change the water. No! They don't change the water, mate. No! They just put more chemicals in it. The water, if someone poos or is sick in a swimming pool, they don't empty it out and refill it just because someone's been sick. No! They fish it out with a little net, chuck it out over the fence, probably over the neighbour's fence, and then put more chemicals in that. How awful! Awful! Oh dear. Yeah, Joanna says, indeed, maintenance. She's got a pool. Maintenance is a pain in the arse. She says it's a real pain doing the maintenance. Thank you. Thank you. And it's huge. Joanna's got a huge swimming pool. Can you email me a picture of your swimming pool, Joanna? Email address, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. I'd love to know. Andrew says, what about a foot spa? No, dear. I want a proper pool out there. Do you know, actually, if I went diagonally, I might have the room for one. I don't know. Oh, that heating bill. Must cost a fortune to heat a swimming pool, does it? I went out with someone once, it was about 20 years ago, and he was a butler. He was a butler at this posh place in Ascot, and she had her own pool there. Oh, it was like with a cover, like that. You pushed a button, this cover, massive pool. And one day something had gone wrong with the heating, and it was the middle of summer, and we couldn't get in it. It was so hot. It was like so hot we couldn't get in the water. It was just like a big bath. Mind you, I had that one when I was belonging to the the Rackets Club up the road. I left them because they just become silly money. Ridiculous amount of money they were charging. But I belonged to them for a while. And one day their heating went wrong. And there was a sign. I was like, the water might be a little bit warmer than what you're used to. And you don't think anything of that, do you? Anyway, I got in. Oh, this is nice. You got in. Well, within about 5 strokes, I felt really sick. It makes you feel sick. Makes you feel sick if the water's too hot. You know, it's like a fine line, isn't it? You don't want to step into it. Oh, it's really cold. You don't want that. On the other hand, you don't want to be able to do 10 lengths and then get really hot because you have to stop again, don't you? Really? So it's a very fine line looking after this. Andrew says, foot in foot spa and each hand in an empty ice cream tub full of warm water. Close your eyes and it feels like the real thing. Yeah, but no exercise is happening, is it? Let's have a look there. Andy Baker says, I wonder if Dudley Council would allow me to a jacuzzi on top of our 12-storey flat. Well, why don't you write to them, Andy? Write to them. They might put one in for you. Eh? Angela says, did you win money? No, nothing, Angela. I can't believe how low Australia came down on that contest last night. That was strange. Low Australia. And Norway, they didn't do well either, did they? That young lad from Norway. Hello, Sarah. Sarah used to live in a flat overlooking the harbour near Torquay. They had a pool. It was filled with green water and old washing machines and ironing boards. Such a waste. How did you manage to swim in that then, Sarah? Did you have to avoid the washing machines? Must have been full of rust as well, that water. A little bit like certain parts of my body starting to gather rust. Angela's had a car accident. Oh, dear. Rammed up behind. Dear, dear me. Oh, God. You have some... You're unlucky, aren't you, Angela, at the moment? You're unlucky, darling. Sarah says the hotter the pool water, the stronger the chemical smell. Oh, it's horrible. Horrible. That smell of chlorine, isn't it? All right. Let's just do today's birthdays, boys and girls. Time is running away. I'm really short of time today because I've got to get ready for our karaoke tonight in Nunhead tonight from 6:30. So looking forward to that and meeting some nice new people down there as well, which is quite nice. Also, I've got a possible another karaoke in North London. Now, let me tell you where that is. One moment, please. If I can find it. Where is that now? I'll tell you the area, but not the pub, because sometimes these things don't always come up as you really know. 1 minute now. Where has that gone now? North London. Oh, I can't find it now. I've lost it. Sorry, I've lost it. Somewhere in North London, there's a possibility of another one that I'm going to check out on Tuesday night. So I'll let you know about that. Hello to Caren. Happy birthday to Caren. Caren. I hope I got your name right. Caren. Caren, maybe? Caren. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Beverley Healy. To Spencer Charles, who's 41 today, raising money for children with cancer. Often people on the Facebook, they do these little money-raising things, which is an excellent idea, I think. So happy birthday to Spencer Charles, 41 years old today. To Trefor Squire. Happy birthday, sir. Della Wakefield, a young 43 today. Happy birthday, Della. I remember our times at that nightclub called Trade. Wonderful. Malcolm Page today, 47 years old. Stephen Hall is a young 20 today. Happy birthday, Stephen. Caren Brunson, happy birthday, Caren. And C. Alan Golden. Lots of birthdays today. Happy birthday to you all on this post-Eurovision party today. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Enjoy your birthday, boys and girls. All right? Have a lovely, lovely birthday. Might see some of you down there in Nunhead a little later on this evening. 6:30 is karaoke time at the Pyrotechnics in Nunhead. I see some private messages coming in there, so I'll reply to those as soon as I finish the show. Okay, boys and girls? Enjoy your Sunday. It looks quite nice out there. We've got... Can you hear that? It sounds a very low-down plane to me. The Russians are attacking! Watch out, everyone. Have a lovely Sunday, and I'll see you again tomorrow morning. Early show on a Monday morning, usually around about 8:45, 9 o'clock in the morning. And what we do is we together choose some of the music for the Music and Chat show. I do at 10 o'clock as well. So that's tomorrow morning. I'll see you around about 8:45, 9 o'clock. Have a lovely day, and thanks very much for watching and listening. Cheerio now. Caren.